All right, so we're just gonna kind of go through how do you put in a room reservation through EMS. The first thing you're gonna do is log in there, and the pages that you have on your seats, that login is on those pages as well. So that's your cheat sheet. The username and password that you use to log in are the same credentials that you use for your campus computer. And let us start to create a room reservation. There's a Book Now tab on the right of the screen, and if you take a look, some of those are for Mequon. You're going to want to use the Book Now for the CUAA room reservation, and then if you go ahead and click that, you will see that there's a CUAA room reservation up there, so now we can make sure that we're all on the same page. And then just note that you are not going to be able to book a room less than 2 days out. So you need at least 48 hours to do that. So let's go ahead and book. So you're going to select the date and time up there in the corner of your start and end times of your event. And please allow for the setup and tear down time that it takes for tables, chairs, all of that stuff. So then, search. And then you will come to this. It'll list the rooms that are available. And if you notice, the room capacities are listed next to the room. The maximum number of people listed are there. So you cannot exceed those numbers. So when you go ahead, you're going to go to the left side of the screen, enter the number of people that are going to be at your event. So I'm going to create an event with 17 people. So I'm just going to put that in, and then I'm going to hit search. All right, and then it's going to bring us to what rooms are available with those numbers of people in it. So these red lines represent the time slot we've chosen. So this is like 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning, I want a room. And these gray boxes here are the times that are already booked. So like if I wanted the music recital hall, sorry, it's not available. So I'm gonna wanna pick a room where it is available, and I'm just gonna, for this presentation, use the Manor Ballroom. So I'm going to select my room with the little plus button by the Manor Ballroom. And then a pop-up box is going to come up and say how many people, you got to make sure. And then we're going to go into setup. How do you want the room arranged? So with that is going to come a drop-down menu, and that's going to be like classroom style, banquet style. Is there anything else you want to say about this while we're here?
Because you don't know what I have said it before, the day before. So it's always important to specify. Ignore that. Yeah, ignore existing room setup. Because you'll have to either do the U-shape for the ballroom or the classroom style with the tables and the chairs facing the screen, if you would please. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So we're going to pick our setup time. We're going to put in add room. And then note that now your room is going to be up there, and you cannot change the time after adding the room. So if I say, oops, I wanted it at 7:30, I'm going to have to just click that minus sign and start all over again. Otherwise, if you're good with your room, then you're just going to go up into the next step. Okay, so you will not be able to request catering or setup service if it's within 4 days of the event. So if you'll notice, you'll pick a room. If it's 2 days out, then you're kind of stuck. But we're going to pretend we did this in a timely manner. And so we're going to go ahead and order services. So we're going to start with our AV service. All of these have drop-down menus. I want a microphone. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna click microphone, and here comes a pop-up box, and then it'll say, well, you have 3 microphones available. And then I'm gonna say, I think I want 2 microphones, so then you just pick the number that you want, hit OK, and let's see. Okay, catering has a lot of choices, so we're just gonna start with when do you want the catering. So you put start time, end time, and then the service type, and that's gonna be like your disposable buffet or your plated china, all of that stuff. So you're just gonna pick the type of catering that you want there. And then really all of this stuff here, feel free to explore your choices. And if you have questions, ask. That's why Sodexo is here. So Kristen and Brianna are more than happy to answer any questions. All this stuff that you see out here, that's why we're here. We want to see what our choices are. So eat more food. And let's see. Okay, going into facility. Notice the facility options listed. You can choose from these lists if you need podiums, tables and chairs, if you're gonna need extra trash. All of that stuff is right there on the facility end. And then for security, it has drop downs for reserved parking, or if you have a big group, do you need shuttle options? Do you need your room unlocked? So those are the things to think about for security. And also if there's any outside groups that you're bringing in, security really needs to know if there's non-campus people on the campus doing those types of things. And then on the bottom, there's a spot where we can put in notes and anything that you can tell us about your event. That's how you give all of these departments 5-star service. And the reason is that that the departments then know what's happening at your event and they can give you 5-star service so that your event will give your participants 5-star service. So the more information you can give us, the better. And then we would love to serve you with 5 stars, and it just trickles down that way. So we're all on the same team here. So then we picked all our services. Let's see. Oh, I went backwards, sorry. All right, sorry. We picked all our services. Now you're gonna have a summary. So on the right-hand side, it says I got microphone, 2 microphones, coffee and tea service for 17 and an oak podium. I'm good with all of that, so I'm gonna go up to the next step. And then, so now you're just gonna put in your event name, and then the type of meeting it is. Is this like an academic meeting, a lecture, interview? So that drop down is just like all of the different ways that kind of the setup of the room. You're gonna, that'll key off housekeeping as well. So let's see, where am I? Yeah. Okay, so then there are some calendar options there. We're not going to go into that right now. We're just going to finish this for this one. So we're going to choose the group. This could be athletics. This could be music. We're just going to leave it as Office of the President right now. And then it says contact. You choose the contact from the drop-down menu. And sometimes your name isn't going to be under that event. That's okay. The other option that you have is just type your name in. We just want to know who to contact with questions about your event. So then you type your name in, and then you put in your contact number, phone number, email address, and all of that. And then there's also an option to do files. If you need to send a picture, whatever, attach files, tell us all about your event, and then when you're done, boom, you create your reservation. And that's how you go through the EMS. It's really, really self-explanatory, but we really, really wanted to walk you through this just to let you know, like, It's really important that, that we know what's going on campus so that we're not double booking, that sort of thing. And so that we're not surprised when we get to a room and we go, well, where's my computer? Well, we didn't know you needed one, stuff like that. So, but we want to be able to provide those services to you. So, Michelle.
Is there any questions? Because it's really important with cancellations. We did have a problem last week, and we got that all hashed out so that the students can have their event here in the black box. It was because something wasn't canceled out that was planned maybe 6 months ago. So I know everybody's fighting for space since we are growing with leaps and bounds. So if your admins or yourselves can go back and look at your future events and make sure that everything's still on track for those events in those spaces, that would be a big help. If you have overnight guests, that problem arose 2 weeks ago. We didn't know about underage overnight events. Campus security will need to know about that, as well as housekeeping to make sure that our resident halls are in the utmost perfect shape. And if you do have larger events, maybe 50 to 100 people, I would like to have a housekeeper on staff for your event to make sure that you do get the 5-star experience for your event. So if you just let me know that as well. Any questions? Yes, John.
For the facilities request, when it said tables and chairs, is that only if you want like extra tables and chairs that don't normally live in the space? Or is that regardless? you
Which
have to
room
request
are
it?
we talking? This?
Well,
Any of the
any room that
restaurants
has
tables
chairs.
and chairs and facilities.
Yeah. there was
You
that.
have to reserve a table when you request food because, like, if it's in a classroom.
Right,
So we'd
Okay.
have to order an 8-foot table for your food for your event.
okay.
For the start time, it looks like, are we able with each service we need to say when we want it there? If you're having an event and you want to be able to test the sound ahead of time, is there a way beyond the start time to tell IT, you want this up an hour in advance? Catering, I know usually does show up an hour or so ahead of time, but what's the best way to make?
I think that would be good to be put in the setup notes that I can let Matthias know or myself to have it set up so that they can do their thing. Because sometimes they do have to tape wires down to the floor and things for a trip hazard. So facilities has to go in first to make sure that our parts are done first. Thank you.
So just do that in the notes.
Setup notes would be a good place for that. That's a good question. Yes, Scott?
How far out can you book in advance?
That
What's the
hasn't really
furthest?
been decided yet.
Can I add to that?
Oh, thank you.
I don't know the answer to that, but we are implementing a long-range planning team with representatives from every department where we're looking at events 18 to 24 months out. So those are really to say, all right, we know that the first weekend in March is going to be the Lutheran grade school basketball tournament. Every year until Jesus returns, okay? If that's in perpetuity, that's gonna happen. Tool time will always be this weekend. X will always be this weekend. So there's a team that's coming together to start talking about that.
I was just like, I think if we have guest musicians that come in,
Yeah.
we know in advance how far in advance we book that, to book them to get them to come in. So
Yeah,
that's what, like, just in that scenario with our music department, that's just something to think about.
Sodexo just told me that they can do 3 months in advance.
3 months?
3 months for like meetings or anything you want to put in the web base, but if it's a larger event, we will have that on the calendar prior, like you said, so the larger events, meetings, we are going to put those on the calendar. But right now it's at 90 days that you can book ahead of advance for like a smaller meeting or a classroom.
So when can Kendra book classrooms?
She can do it whenever.
Okay, 'cause she's
For-
all, she's an all access pass, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, you know, there are 4 or 5 people on campus who have the ability to do further out. But only 4 or 5, and we don't want too many hands in that particular pot, okay?
Ms. Ivana?
Yes, I have a question. In regards of if you, for example, hosting an event for around like 40 people, that I'm actually planning one, and they will do like sit down and I'm like, do I need also to reserve like round tables, or you guys decide based on the amount of number of people, like how many tables?
I'll do this right for you. The best way to do that, Svetlana, would be to just contact Kristen directly, because I've done this, I'm new, and I'm like, Kristen, I don't even know what to serve for this. Can you just come and talk me through it? And she is more than happy to. That's why she's here. So she can help you with tables, chair, like, yes, Kristen and Michelle are like my go-to guys when I plan like a bigger event with, you know, more people.
Holly, did you have a question?
I have 2 questions.
Oh, Holly's got 2.
If I've already created an event, am I able to go back in and add to that and edit it?
Yes?
Is there a special? Yeah, she's all things EMS. Use the mic.
If you go under My Events on the web EMS-based version, you can view all the reservations that you've booked. There should be a little pencil next to your reservation name. If you click on the pencil, that will help you edit it. So you can go in, there should be an area where it says Edit Services. So you can go back, it'll take you to that services page, and you can add IT, catering, as long as you're not within that time frame of too close. Yep.
And my second question is, what if I'm not necessarily reserving a room, but I need to reserve a service like the shuttle? Is that something that I do through EMS, or is that better served by just sending an email? Like the golf cart?
If you're reserving just a shuttle to go back and forth through campus, I would just contact campus security directly. However, if it's part of, like, say, Boar's Head, you could always just put it under Boar's Head and say, we'll need a shuttle. Or like the 50th reunion, you just put it somewhere in there and say, we'll need a shuttle service from this time to this time.
Any other questions?
Sarah, Michelle, Kristen, can you guys talk about the weekly events meeting that you do? Just so that everyone is fully aware that every week you go through everything.
Yeah, so every Wednesday we meet, and I bring all of the sheets for anything that anyone has booked on campus, whether it's just you booked video conferencing. So we go through every single kind of aspect of any service that we might need to provide to you guys. It's really helped us kind of narrow down what events are going on. Maybe it's something that Michelle knows about, but security didn't know about. So we're all just kind of getting on the same page in these meetings. They're about 30 minutes. So that's what we do weekly.